Episode 9. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Yep.
Absolutely. We're so excited to be here with you. We're your final present that you get to unwrap after
That's right.
Christmas. So we're your
Yes.
gift. I hope you
We
guys are
are.
excited.
Yes.
I hope it's not a letdown for you. You expected more, and this is all you got. So
Oh man,
I apologize. But Billy, you had a good holiday?
great holiday. The season's coming to a close.
Yeah.
Tons of Christmas parties and hey, funny story. It's great.
Oh, is this story time with Billy?
It's story time. Okay, so story time with Billy. Okay.
Yay, let's go.
Okay, so it's got so many different names: the Dirty Santa, White Elephant, Yankee Swap. Where you bring a gift and you do an exchange, and people can steal your gift, and it's just high drama. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you, like the Parchment household just has the worst luck at this game. Horrible. Whatever the worst case scenario for this particular game, every year does not matter. No matter which one of us is playing, me, Michelle, Chloe, Lily, it's going to be the worst case scenario. We'll offer like one of the best gifts and get, just the absolute worst. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. But I did want to share this one story. This is back when I lived in Louisville, Kentucky, and I worked at the Embassy Suites. And it's always funny because it just reminds me, just going through this season and just the girls are playing this game and come home upset because, they sucked at it. And, and it's like, well, let me tell you about this time when I played it. Okay, so we're going through and, I'm one of the managers. And so, we have some really good gifts that the hotel bought that put it in the game. Like we're talking like iPads.
Wow.
We're talking, laptops, really expensive gift cards and stuff like that. And this particular time, and I'm playing the game just like normal. And I am in prime position to basically get whatever I want. Like it's like I have
the last number picked.
Yes, I'm the pick of the litter. Like I have the thing, but here's the thing: like I'm not gonna steal the iPad from somebody that could give it to one of their kids as an awesome Christmas present. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah,
and stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna steal this, $200 gift card. I'm not gonna steal that. I'm not gonna. And so, if you know me, you know that I absolutely love all things Star Wars.
Yes.
Like I'm obsessed with Star Wars. And one of the gifts that was in play was a Star Wars Cocoa set that was from Walmart. It was a Chewbacca coffee mug, and it came with some Star Wars themed hot chocolates.
Love that.
$15 at Walmart. And I was like, oh, that's awesome because it's not crazy. I'm going to steal this. It's something that I would enjoy because it's Star Wars. And so I go up and it's my turn to steal it. And so I go up and I walked up to this dude. And he was a brand new employee. I've never actually talked to him before. He had just started. And I go, oh, I'll take that. Thank you very much. And I took it and I walked away back to my table.
Yeah.
And so I sat down. I was happy. I was like, oh, this was awesome. I actually got something I was happy with. I broke the curse or whatever after years of just crazy things happening. And so later, one of the other workers come up and he goes, oh, Billy. He said that was the most awkward thing that I've ever experienced. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, dude, that guy had just poured his heart out to the table about how excited he was to get the Star Wars coffee set because he had just gone through this horrible divorce, and his ex-wife
Oh
stole
my
all of
God.
his Star Wars stuff. And he was this huge Star Wars fan, and he was so excited. And he said he literally just finished the story, and you walk up and said, "I'll take that. Thank you very much," and walked away.
Oh my
I
gosh,
was
that's awesome.
I was like, I have like, if you could see, I have goosebumps right now for those on YouTube, like goosebumps. And
Yeah.
so, like, I was heartbroken, and I went to the dude. I was like, "Dude, can you just take it?" He's like, "No, no, no, that was just part of the game." I was like, "Man, I feel terrible." And so he's like, "No," and I was, oh my gosh. And so I was like, the curse continues.
Yep.
But we went and I mean, we went to Target, and I mean, we hooked the dude up with some Star Wars stuff, man.
Oh, that's cool.
We made his, he was crying afterwards, and made. But I just wanted to share that story
That's funny.
because it will forever like be scarred into my soul. We're getting through with this season now.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, before the season ended, just to share that with all of y'all. But we suck at Dirty Santa, White Elephant, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's scarred in my.
You know what? We also have bad luck with that because I feel like over the last couple of years, I always thought like White Elephant, Yankee Swap, whatever was supposed to be like, funny gifts, right?
Right.
Some serious, some funny, whatever. So I've always brought like I thought were like White Elephant gifts the last couple of years to our Christmas party, and everyone else has brought like serious stuff. So last year I brought a candle, and it was called Both of These Nuts, and it just smelled like hazelnut.
Yes.
And and like nobody else had anything like that, and I was trying to really push that one out. Like it's amazing. It's Both of These Nuts. I mean, who doesn't want to smell Both of These Nuts? I mean, it's great. The year before, I brought a book called Creative Cussing,
Nice.
where you'd flip a page, and the first word would be part of it, and then the second, and you put them together, and that was your creative cuss word. I still say that was a hit. People really like that, but again, no one else brought anything remotely bad. Yeah. So I feel like I'm always like the outcast there.
You're the problem child.
Yeah. So this past year, I actually bought something decent, which I don't even remember what it was. See, because it wasn't funny.
Right. It's just boring. Like, oh man, you're.
I know what it was. It was an adult size shark onesie that you put on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
hey, that's fun.
Yeah, it was because one of the spouses of one of our people who work with us, he's the one who got it, and he came danced around in the circle with a baby shark.
I actually saw a video of that. Yeah.
So that was him.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, good times. Well, yeah, holidays over, moving on.
Yeah.
To the next thing, which is New Year's and all the resolutions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get there, we've got another fun episode for you today.
We really do. And so I think it's showtime.
Yes! It sounded really Italian. Like, it's a show time.
It's a showtime. Let's do it.
Well, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Are you ready, my friend?
You better believe it. Let's get into all the everything, y'all.
Everything, we've got it all. We've got it all, small, big or tall. So grab your snacks, sit back, don't stress, cause Tim and Billy talk about the randomness. From ancient Rome to UFOs, we'll take you where the weirdness goes. It's two guys talking way too loud about stuff that makes no sense, but we're kinda proud.
Well, welcome to the show today, everybody. I'm so excited to have you here for another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Tim Sawhook, joined by my partner in crime, Billy Parchman. Billy, how you doing today, bud?
Brother, I am great, man. I am super, super excited to be here. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited for this podcast. It's going to be fun, something we haven't done before yet.
Yeah.
But we'll probably do again.
Absolutely.
So I have this amazing app on my phone called 21 Questions. And you might think, are we going to discuss 21 questions today? Probably not. Who knows? That's just the name of the app. But within the app, they have all kinds of different categories. And ours today is going to be Icebreakers.
Whoa.
So I'm going to ask the questions. We both have a chance to answer. And we'll see how random this gets. And we'll have a little fun with it. So
yeah.
Are you ready to go number one? Be first on our first icebreaker question, Billy.
Ooh, yeah, because we have no idea what's coming. So let's see where this
like
takes
a digital
us.
swipe of cards on my phone here. I just swipe it and go. So
Okay, let's do it.
here we go. Here's our first swipe. Okay. That was just a good one. If your entire life was a movie, who would play you in that movie?
If my entire life was a movie, it would be pretty epic. You have two different actors I think you could choose from, and you can go two different ways with this. I think if you want to go the more silly, goofy route, you'll go with maybe Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
You know? And if you want to go with a more stunning, goofy still, but very charming, let's go with Chris Pratt.
Yes, I knew you were going to go with Chris Pratt. I wasn't sure what your first one was going to be, but if anybody's listened to any of our podcasts, we always talk about Billy as the Chris Pratt lookalike.
Yeah, I resemble both of those. So if they had a love child, Chris Pratt and Seth Rogen, I would be that child. And so it just depends on like if I'm wearing glasses or not, because I have a beard, bigger guy. And I was back home in Mississippi this last weekend and I was wearing glasses and this one guy goes, "Man, you look just like Seth Rogen." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I haven't gotten Seth Rogen in a minute. Since I've been on this weight loss journey, I've been getting Chris Pratt a lot more lately.
Yeah.
And it's like I haven't gotten Seth Rogen in a minute, but I guess my beard is getting kind of a little grayer, and I had glasses on, but yeah, he even tagged me on Facebook with a picture of Seth Rogen just a few minutes ago. I'm like, okay,
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good choice.
Yeah. How about you?
I think I would also pick two.
Okay.
When you first said that, I think for the funny side of things, that side of me, I would say Robin Williams.
Okay.
I like to be quick, fun, random, have a good time.
Yes, very quick. Yeah, yep.
Fun movie life.
Sure.
But if I was thinking for like the leading man, good-looking guy, and it's somebody who once they take their glasses off turns into Superman. Who do you think my favorite Superman is?
Your favorite Superman?
It's one of the most recent ones.
Henry
Cavill?
Cavill?
Henry Cavill, yeah. That guy's a beast of a human. I mean,
the guy is.
I love him in so many different movies, but he so far has been my favorite Superman, minus the original Christopher Reeves.
Yes.
Sorry, you can't go against the original Christopher Reeves, but yeah, I think that's who I would pick. I know I don't look like Henry Cavill or Cavill or whatever, but I would like to look like him one day.
Well, the new Superman trailer is now out for the new David Cornsweet.
Yes.
And James Gunn version. And
I'm super excited about this too.
I'm so excited. I'm so hopeful. Please, James, do not let me down. If you know anything about Tim and I, we're both huge Superman fans. And
yes.
There's a lot riding on this movie. A lot.
Yeah.
And
for the whole world of DC is riding on this movie.
Yes. And so we are very hopeful, James Gunn. James, if you want to come on the podcast.
Yeah. If you have any free time. We'll keep dropping names to see who we can get on the show.
David, if you want to come too, we'll talk to you. And Henry, if you want to come, I know you might be we don't have to talk about DC with you, but
we can talk
about what's he really into. Henry's really into Warhammer. He's a nerd. He's a nerd like
oh
us.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that, buddy. Yeah, we're inviting everybody.
I love it. Bring them on.
Yeah.
All right, on to our next question.
Come on.
If you could cook dinner for any celebrity, who would it be? You know what? The pressure will be on me to go first this time.
Okay, come on.
Oh, I mean, I think about who would I want to cook for. I like to cook. I'm a pretty good cook, so I would definitely wouldn't let the person down.
Yeah.
For a celebrity, who would it be? I mean, I think a lot of people say Gordon Ramsay. I would never want to cook for Gordon Ramsay. God help us. I mean, I would like him to cook for me, but I don't think he'd want me cooking for him. Somebody, so what I would do is I would narrow it down to somebody I just want to spend time with, celebrity wise.
Sure.
And that would have to be one of my main men, the guy I love. I talked about in my fitness world is Sean T, the creator of Insanity.
Sure.
I followed him for a long time. I guess he's not like a major celebrity across the world, but within my world and the fitness world, Sean T, I would definitely like to have dinner with him. He's a fun guy, positive guy. So it'd be fun to sit down and have a dinner with him.
Yeah, nice. Well, you just said you wouldn't want to do this. And like I had already had, as soon as you asked this question, I had this already in my head. I would want to cook for Gordon Ramsay.
What's the why? Yeah.
This is why. I am a huge Gordon Ramsay fan. If you didn't know this, in my previous life, I was a chef, and I always wanted to be a celebrity chef. And so in my head, I have a million times over applied and competed in my head in MasterChef, Hell's Kitchen, all the Next Level Chef. Like I've done all of these in my head.
Yeah, how'd you do it, by the way?
Yeah, I rocked it. Of course,
you won every episode.
Yeah, every episode. Just, I mean,
love the confidence.
Superstar status, and so, yeah. But I would love it because not only is Gordon Ramsay just, he's a great celebrity chef. He is, I mean, and not just the fact that he's like an ultra like Michelin star chef.
Oh yeah,
he is passionate about food, but he's very good about and honest about cooking and teaching as well.
Yeah.
And so as I'm cooking, he would be there,
yeah,
and giving me tips.
Okay.
Like, and showing me things just like he would do, like he does, like you could see him like when he comes up like to contestants on the show, like he'll show and do different things like that. I love that. And like, just to be able to soak that in and just to be able to cook with Gordon Ramsay, that would be really cool. That would be a really cool experience.
That's always great, Billy, but that wasn't the question. Would someone come help teach me cook for them?
Well, he's going to eat my food, and then if it sucks, he would tell me it would suck, and that's just the risk. That would be just like, it's so funny. He was on Hot Ones, where they eat hot wings
that was
and stuff.
A funny episode, yeah.
And it was hilarious. It was, I think it had the most curse words out of all of them, the one he was on. But the way he just bashed not the hotness of the wings, but the actual cooking of the wings. And he's like, next time I come on the show, I'm making the actual wings. You can put the sauces on them, but I'm making the wings because whoever made the wings was just garbage. And he's like, no, you didn't do it right.
And so, you have been eliminated.
Yeah. So
that's funny.
But that's, I don't know if that's like a cop out answer, but that's how I mean, like as soon as you asked the question, that was my immediate one. And I just, so that is, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, because he's also passionate about people too. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. On to our next question. Billy, you're up first on this one.
Oh, gosh.
What's something that you think everyone should experience at least once in life?
I think everybody should accomplish a bucket list goal.
Okay.
Like set something that you think is almost unreachable.
Yeah.
And do everything you can to reach it. Like for me, I'm on, and I've mentioned here and there, I'm on a weight loss journey.
Yep.
Right.
You're doing great at it too, by the way.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. And so it was scary. Like I was to a point that was not, it was life and death. Just put it out there. It was life and death. Like, and I had to set goals to be able to live. And they seemed unattainable. And so I took the first step and I finally got to that goal. And the feeling that when I accomplished that first huge, major milestone, that feeling, that accomplishment, that just, I mean, that was everything. It was encouraging, obviously, but it just, I mean, it was life changing. Not just the fact that I was changed in life, but just the fact that, hey, you could do anything. You know
Yes.
what I mean? If
Yeah.
that makes any sense. And so I want anybody to be able to do that and just to feel that accomplishment, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So you think everyone should experience being outside their comfort zone in their life and trying something that seems unattainable?
Absolutely.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Got it. And thanks for not going into too much detail. I was about ready to stop you.
Oh, no. I held back a lot. So a lot. And then, but hey,
I'm trying to give visual cues.
Zip it. No, I zip it. I'm not. Hey, it's coming, y'all. It is coming, and it's coming very soon.
Very soon. It's gonna be a good episode.
Very good.
For me, something that everyone should try at least once in their life. You know what? I'm gonna say ziplining.
Oh, nice.
Before I ever did ziplining, I was very scared of high bridges. We talked about this on a different podcast. Like heights and stuff bug me to a certain extent. So when we first did it and we were over these very high ravines and long wires for these zip lines, it was scary but exhilarating. I remember the whole time driving up the mountain to go to this thing. I was like, I have so bad anxiety just in life in general. Anxiety was like off the hook. It also rained that morning, so I'm like, what does that mean in terms of rain? We got there and the guy goes, don't worry, you can definitely go in the rain. It just makes you go faster. And I'm like, oh dear God. I remember during the safety briefing, everybody was in the group was looking at me because they knew that I was like eyes huge in my mouth, like. He goes, dude, what's wrong with you? Why is everybody looking at you for? Like, because I'm terrified to do this. But it was really one of the coolest, exhilarating things ever is to get up there and just go flying. It's the closest thing to Superman you'll ever be.
Oh man,
zip lining. And some people on our team, not only did they zip line like upside down.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Not doing that.
Oh,
but I would definitely say that because it's a comfort zone breaker for sure. People are scared of heights, and I don't think I'm going to convince everybody out there to try it, but I think you should.
Nice. I like that.
All right. Coming up next.
Okay.
Do you believe in parallel universes? So, is this me go first? I think
you go first on this one.
Do I believe in parallel universes? We kind of talked about this not too long ago about different things with the universe. I see it a lot in Marvel, the multiverse we talk about all the time, right? But you know what? I think I want to believe that there is parallel universes to ours. It's to me like weird similarities and glitches in the Matrix that happen all the time, I feel like. And I'm not going down the whole of like what that actually means as far as aliens or stuff like that. But yeah, you know what? Just for the sake of the explorer in me, the imagination, I'm going to say, yes, I believe there are parallel universes to ours. What about you?
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I love the multiverse idea, but just to think that there might be an evil Billy out there.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Like,
I want to meet him.
Yeah, you know, it just doesn't. I don't. No, I don't think. I think it's just us.
I think you're more likely to be true, but for the sake of the podcast,
for the sake of the podcast, hey,
why not?
You could dream big, and it'd be fun to dream, but
dream yourself into another reality.
That's right.
Okay, quick icebreaker question. Do you like to sleep in or get up early?
I would love to sleep in. I used to love sleeping in.
Yeah.
But now with the girls and everything, when they get up, like I'm up, or even if they sleep in, and I'm like, I'm so used to waking up. When I wake up, I just wake up. it's
yeah. I feel you. That's also my answer. Anyone who knows me, who listens to this podcast, knows I hate getting up early with a passion. I would love to sleep in any chance I get. I mean, you can even ask Leslie because a lot of times we have really early flights when we go out to travel on vacation or whatever. And so what we'll do is we'll stay the night at the airport that's right next to the hotel there. so we can just get right over in the morning. And I will ask her for 3 days leading up to that trip. So how early do we have to get up the next morning before we have to get on that plane? She's like, I told you we got to get up at 4:30 in the morning. I was like, oh God, how about 4:50? She's like, we're never gonna make it in time. We got to get up at 4:30. And then I stress about it, and that's all I obsess about for days leading up to that or anything where I have to get up early. I think I give that too much power in my life, really, to be honest.
Right.
Like how hard it is to get up early because I don't like to go to bed early. So that's my problem. I like to stay up late. So anyhow, get up early is my sleeping in, not getting up early.
Right.
All right. So what one subject could you talk about for hours? So that's me. I think I could do a lot of things for hours to talk about.
Sure.
I could talk about movies, Marvel, Star Wars, sports. I'm gonna go with The Office, actually.
Ooh, nice.
Even though I got yelled at for my rankings when we did that, I'm not gonna go back into that right now. But if I were to sit down, like, there's a lot of things I could talk about for hours, but like The Office with people who enjoy The Office and all the little intricacies of it, catchphrases and different episodes you love, don't like, things like that. I think I could sit down with anybody and talk as long as they like The Office. We're assuming in this situation that the thing we talk about, someone else may actually enjoy to hear.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to go with the many different things. I'm going to pick The Office.
Right.
What about you?
I mean, there's so many different things as well. Like Jesus, number one, like, Marvel, obviously, Superman, Star Wars. Come on now. I could talk about fitness and my journey and all this stuff, and I will, but not today.
You have a special one coming for you.
Yeah, but oh gosh, it's just there's so many things that I'm very passionate about and love. So yeah, pick or choose.
Yeah, a lot to choose from. Okay, all right. Here's our next one. All right, Billy, you're going first. What movie can you quote the most lines from, do you think?
Oh gosh,
that's a tough question.
That's a tough. Which one can I do the most from? Oh man, there's so many. I
feel like we're gonna get this wrong on our first try because we'll probably remember something more later.
Yeah, I would probably say Couples Retreat with Vince Vaughn,
Retreat. Yeah,
Jon Favreau. Yeah, followed very closely by Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh yes,
and there's a million others that we quote every single day, but those two are just like they're in the daily rotation.
Yeah. No, definitely. There's so many to pick from. One is Tombstone. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry. Yeah.
Is all those fun things. Tombstone I could quote a lot from. I could quote a lot of things from National Treasure, that movie. I have watched it.
Oh,
that's just a whole different discussion to go down that route. It's a movie that I've watched probably hundreds of times because I use it to go to fall asleep with because you don't have an expectation of what's happening.
Yep.
So I could probably quote that one verbatim because I've seen it 10,000 times.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Couple comedy ones. There's a lot. There's
so many. Yeah.
But those would be some of my top ones.
Yeah.
All right. What's up next? All right. What's the silliest thing you've ever done? Silliest thing you've ever done. Gosh, that's a tough one. Because I feel like I've done a lot of silly things, but they weren't like on purpose. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yes.
How about one of the craziest things that I've ever done that's kind of happened? Can I go with that?
Yeah, sure. Hey, it's our show.
All right. You know what? Right. We have the rules. Sorry, I pounded on my table, guys. One of the craziest things that's ever happened to me was my son was a baby. It was his first Halloween, and he was drinking baby formula. That was his food. And if anyone who's bought baby formula, it was like Similac, and it was in those big, like I got the big size and like the big metal containers, And so it was on Halloween night. I always used to do a haunted house all the time. And we ran the haunted house that night, Leslie left early with my son Luke, went home, told me, make sure you stop, get the baby formula on the way home. No problem. Did that. Get home, getting out of my car, take the bag, and you ever throw something on your shoulder, like you got a bunch of stuff. And
Yes.
Well, I did that with that bag. And what happened is the weight of the can swung around, hit me in the back of the head, knocked me straight out.
Yes.
I was laid out for about 30 minutes in my front yard. And this was a street, our first house we lived on. There was a stop sign in front of our house. Someone should have seen me laying there for 30 minutes, laying in the front. I stumbled in our house telling Leslie maybe I had been mugged. I have no idea what had happened to me. Like, do I still have my wallet? All these things. Fast forward, we ended up going to the hospital. I had a concussion. I gave myself a concussion and knocked myself out with a can of baby formula by swinging around, cracking right in just hit me in the right spot. And I was out of commission for a while. But I got some other stories, but that's probably one of the crazier things that's happened. Not by chance, not because I went after to be a silly thing. It just became a story of shame the rest of my life. So.
Man, we both have had multiple concussions. We should have named something, this podcast, something about that.
That's why the podcast is so random, and that's why we're nuts. It's because of the concussions.
We've each suffered multiple ones. Yeah.
Head injuries. What about you?
Okay, so I don't know. Like this is the first thing that came to my mind, so I'm going to share it. I don't know if it's actually the craziest thing, but it's the first thing that came to my mind, and now I can't think of anything else. So when I was in high school, I had this super, super, super crush on this one girl, throughout most of middle school and high school. And she was like one of my closest friends and stuff. And we always like hung out.
Right.
And we were all over hanging out at one of my friends' house, and they had a pool. And so they dared me to jump in the pool naked one night.
Do we have any pictures or video footage of this?
Well, I haven't seen them if they're out there, but and I'm like, I'll only do it. I will only do it if you keep the lights off. You know about how much that will happen. But as a 15-year-old, I did it. And sure enough, as soon as I'm midair, all the lights come right on. So I don't know. Yeah,
that's a good one.
I gave them a show and whatever, but it is what it is.
All right, good answer. All right, you're going first on this one.
Oh gosh, okay.
If you could open up any business, what would you sell and why? So I'll let you process that for a second. If you opened up any business, what would you sell and why?
I think that I would sell. Again, I'm just going to go with the first thing that just pops in my head.
Go for it.
You know what I'm saying? Because why not? Because that's what it is. I'm going to make a gourmet line of hot sauces.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to call them Bayou Billy's.
Oh, I like that.
Yep. And so it's going to be delicious and spicy.
And spicy.
Yep. Bayou Billy's. Yep. So this we're going into the hot sauce business, giving Tabasco a run for their money.
I could see a drink spawning off of that called the Bayou Billy.
The Bayou Billy. Yep. I like it.
Woo, girl. Yeah. I love that answer. All right. For me, I'm all about self-loathing. I'm constantly, doesn't matter how much weight I lose. I'm always like, I ask Leslie every day. She wants to kill me. Do I look fat? Does it feel like I gained some weight? Do I look like, and she's like, I'm going to kill you. You ask me this more than any random girl would ask if she looks good in a dress or not. So what I would create is a line of mirrors that you can put up on the wall. And every time you go to the mirror, you look exactly the ideal weight that you want.
Oh, gosh.
And if you say anything self-loathing to yourself, it just comes back as a compliment. So it's a feel-good mirror company. You may not actually look the way that you see yourself in the mirror, but it's the way other people see you.
With AI and stuff, I bet you that's not far away that happening.
You know what? They probably already exist. And I actually, with all my self-loathing, can I get one out there? Yeah. We need a new advertiser or any advertisers at all. That'd be great.
I like it.
All right, let's get a couple more in. I'm going to go first on this one. The question is, do you remember your dreams?
Oh, nice.
I don't always remember dreams. And if I do, then it means it was like a real important dream, or it was very intense or scary or something like that. Leslie, my wife, she remembers like all the dreams and always has these crazy dreams about weird stuff. And then we always end up looking up the meaning of dreams. You ever do that?
Yes. I have Googled that a few times. What does this mean? What does that mean? Yeah.
So Leslie's gonna kill me for telling the story, but it's one of the weirdest dreams that she always has. Not all the time, but she's had it quite a few times. Is where she has to go to the bathroom in a public area, but when she gets there, all the toilets are overflowing with crap and they're disgusting every single time, every stall. So she can't go to the bathroom because they're all so nasty. And I remember we looked it up. I can't remember what it was now. What was the thing? But I always thought that was the disgusting thing. The only thing that I've remembered recently was it always brings back weird characters to your life, right? Like people, even like people that are in movies or people that you haven't seen in forever. And it was like a bank heist that we were trying to pull off. I don't remember all the details of it at the moment, but it was different people had different roles. We didn't get caught. We got away with the money. And it was quite exciting. But I've also had like a dream paralysis. You ever heard of that before?
I have heard of that. Yeah. Where you just get stuck in fear.
You get stuck in fear and you can't move, and you always see like a dark figure in the room. Yeah. I've always heard about it before. Like sleep paralysis is always like people see like they'll say like a demon figure or a dark figure, either standing next to them, looking down on them, or either like pushing down on them so they can't breathe kind of thing. And I had one of those not too long ago, and it was so creepy. I woke up like sweating and like heavy breathing and stuff from it. It scared me to death. And I once thought I was touched by a ghost at Walt Disney World at the Polynesian Resort. I remember sleeping in bed, and I was rolled over off the side of the bed facing my wife, and I felt a hand touch me right on my lower back. I jumped out of bed, and I don't know if that was a dream or what that was. So.
I wonder how many ghosts that hotel actually has. You know, they always say that if you die at a hotel, that's a ghost that's there. Like at the hotel that I worked at, we had 3 people that had passed away there. And one of them actually passed away while I was there, and I was
like
the one
on your shift.
On my shift, I had.
Oh wow!
I got a radio call from the housekeeping to call 911, and so I dialed 911 and was like, and so I'm like on the radio. I'm like, what am I telling them? Because they're like, call 911 right now. So I'm like, dial. Okay, I'm on the phone with 911. What's going on? And they're like, someone's dead. I'm like, someone's dead. And they're like, what is going on? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, But yeah, the one that passed away when I was there had a heart attack.
Oh, okay.
It was a terrible situation. It was horrible. I was completely freaked out. But yeah,
so no foul play.
Not on that one.
Okay, good. But we got to hear more about this later.
Yeah. But yes, for me, I do remember dreams.
Okay.
Sometimes, I guess. It just depends on when you wake up and how quickly you like think about it after you wake up.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I do remember what I dreamt about. Like right then, I was in my old mall that's been torn down.
Okay.
Singing River Mall in Goshen, Mississippi. In one of the stores, Snoop Dogg was working behind the counter.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yep. And I go in and I talk to Snoop Dogg,
and
we're talking and just like, oh man, Snoop, what's going on? And the reason why he's in my dream was because before I went to bed, I was watching TikTok and I saw this video, and he was in this children's hospital and he's talking to this little guy. He's with Jelly Roll. And the little guy's like, oh man, you're on Fortnite. And he's like, you got my skin. He's like, no. He goes, well, I'm going to give you 50,000 Fortnite bucks so you can get my skin. And he's like, so that was like one of the last things I saw before I went to bed. So I'm dreaming about Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
And then he's like telling me he needs something from Chick-fil-A down the way. And so I'm like getting his order to go get him some food, and I woke up. So that was, I remember that like right when I woke up. So yeah.
Did you get him his food in the dream, or you were? Well,
I woke up while he was giving my order. So Snoop, if you want to come on the podcast, I'll come get you some Chick-fil-A.
You'll take care of Snoop.
Yep.
That's awesome.
But it was really sweet. To go do that for that kid.
That is really cool. All right. So our final question today. Are you ready for it, Billy?
Come on.
Let's go for the swipe of the card. Here we go. We get what we get. We don't throw a fit. Okay. This could also be dangerous, but what was the last thing that you Googled?
Oh, gosh.
Okay. You got to be honest now.
Let me look.
All right. What was the last thing you Googled? So let me look at mine real quick. Okay. This is okay. Mine's actually, it's kind of funny because this is okay. Let me just get into it. Last thing and you may not think this is funny at first. Last thing I Googled was positive world news stories in 2024.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And I could barely find anything positive. I mean, it was like a few things. And don't get me wrong. If you guys listen to this, don't come after us and say, "Well, I found this story and this story," whatever. All right.
Right.
Well, let me just tell you this. This episode wasn't even supposed to be Icebreakers. It was supposed to be a year-end in review, and we were going to give only positive news stories in 2024. But we struggled so hard to find a bunch that we just scrapped the episode and did Icebreakers. So, the last thing I was looking for was some positive world news in 2024, and there was a lot of downer news out there. There were some positive stories.
Yes,
but it was kind of a downer. Billy, what about you?
Same thing. Okay, so but some of the positive stories that I was going to talk about were the last two things that I Googled. Okay, I was going to talk about the Summer Olympics.
Okay,
and so do you remember the French pole vaulter?
Oh yes,
knocked the pole off with his
junk.
With his junk.
He got disqualified because of his.
He basically knocked off the pole with his wiener. So he did not win the gold, but he apparently won the gold in all of the world's hearts because.
But he won the love of all the ladies in the world.
Good for him. You know, he was a gold. Okay.
Oh my God, I forgot about that story.
And then the absolute last thing I Googled was that precious. Was it Moon Ding Moon or whatever the little pygmy Moon? Yes, that's who I was looking at.
That was the baby hippo, right?
The baby hippo, yes.
Okay,
so those were my last, because those were the happiest things in 2024 that I could find. I was like, oh, gosh.
And again, don't come for us if you find some other stories you think are positive. There were some positive stories out there, but it just didn't really fit what we were going for. But yeah, so that's hilarious that was my last thing and your thing.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so you almost had a completely different episode, but instead you got some icebreakers.
Woo woo!
And I'm going to call this Icebreakers Part 1 because we're going to do a lot more of these. We got many episodes ahead of us to go still. So
I really enjoyed it. I feel like you get to know us a little bit more
on the Icebreakers.
So.
Yeah. Especially because it's not questions we made up for ourselves. It was just whatever was there. Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. Cool. Well, did you have fun with Icebreakers? You loved it?
I really enjoyed this episode. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll definitely do more of these for sure.
Yeah. Well, did you like it? Sorry.
I absolutely loved it. Again, I learned a lot from you. There's some funny stories and things that I wouldn't really think about to talk about, like Leslie's bathroom dreams. Sorry, Leslie. But stuff like that, and just learning more about each other and for our audience as well. So
yeah.
Speaking of the audience, we want them to interact with us, right, Billy?
Come on. Yes, please. Please let us know on Facebook, especially. Let us know what's going on in your world. We're doing posts daily. Just interact with those. Show us some love. We want to build a community. We would love for y'all to be involved and just be part of our world.
Be part of our world. I love that. And they can do that by, like she said, going to Facebook. That's where we want to have more of the community at. Put up polls for you guys, hear answers from our most recent podcasts, things like that.
Absolutely.
But the most important thing for us is to leave a 5-star written review on Apple Music Podcast. That really helps us get the word out. We love doing this. Even if we didn't have a ton of listeners, we would still probably do it just for a positive escape for us to have a little fun with. But I have to come clean. Our viewers have gone up every single week, and by large margins. We're not going to share numbers yet, but it's doing better and better, and that's because of all of you. So thank you guys for listening and watching. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're over the moon, and so yeah, just let us know that you're out there and keep hitting that download button.
Yeah,
and check us out on YouTube as well.
Share it with your friends and family. It means a lot
please.
to us. But without any more begging, I want to thank you guys for being here this week with us for another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. We hope you guys had a good time, and we will see you next time.
Bye, y'all.